So today I've got my sketchbook, I've got a ruler, I've got a pencil, an eraser and a fine liner pen. And I'm going to start by drawing a grid. Now the grid can be any size you like. Obviously the tighter the grid, the smaller the knot would be. I'm going to make my grid lines 1 centimetre apart. So I'm going to show you how to make a basic 3x4 Celtic knot, and I'm going straight in with the pen on this one. It's going to have a little bit of a blocky look to it, but then I'll show you how to neaten it up and make it look pretty in the second one. So I've got all of my grid squares here, and I've just got to decide where I want my grid to be. So I'm going to start with making a little mark. I don't want to do right up to the edge because I want to draw the centre of the knot first and then draw the edges last. I'm going to choose some points, and I'm going to choose a point and skip one. So let's start here. If I choose that point, skip one, choose a point, skip one, choose a point, and then that's my 3 across. And then I do the same down. So I've got skip one, put a point, skip one, put a point, skip one, put a point. So that's my 4 down. Let's just fill in the rest of that grid. Then for each of these, I'm going to draw a little diamond around it. Let's just bring in a little bit of dotted paper, and I can show you that what I mean by a diamond is like a little square on its side around one of the intersection points. If you make smaller diamonds, you get thicker strands in your Celtic knot. The bigger the diamond you make, the thinner the strands in the Celtic knot. So I'm going to draw a diamond around this dot, making sure the points of the diamond are on that grid line. So now I want to do the ones in between. So each of these has a little point in the centre of, so you've got 4 in a square, and then there'll be 1 in the centre. And I want to put another diamond in there, same size as the other ones. So again, so I'm going to do 2 across and 3 down to fill in the centre. And now I go around the outside, but instead of putting a whole diamond in this time, I want to put like a little V shape. So again, on here I'll show you I either want to do a V that way, a V that way, a V that way, or a V that way, pointing into the centre of the design. So at the top, my little V's point down. At the side, they point in. Now, if you want to have rounded corners on your Celtic knot, you would fill in with a single line on the corners, but I don't want to, I want pointy corners. So I'm just going to put a little dot there just to show me where the point is of the corner. And that's the edge of my Celtic knot box. Now to do the lattice work, which is fun. So where I've got my little diamond, I can join the diamonds together diagonally. And I'm looking to join the internal points of the little 4 that I'm considering. So I can follow this line up and join it onto there, and if I've done that I want to do it the same on the other side and follow that up and join it on there. Then I want to look at my next row, so my next squares would be like this, then the next row would go the opposite way. So this line here would join up with this line here. Again, it's the internal corners that I'm joining together like that, and you can see the start of the lattice work pattern. And considering this little square here, again I've got my 4 diamonds, and this line here can join up with this line here because this row is going that way, and then this one here can join up with this line here because there is a little line on that side. What I can't do is then draw anything here because I don't have 4 lines, so this line can't join up with a line there because there isn't one. and this can't join up with anything because there are no little squares there, no little diamonds there. So I'm just going to leave that one for now, but the rest I can fill in. So this one here I can do, and that would go this way, so I can join this line here to that one there, and this line here to this one here. Now there are different ways you can go in and fill in a Celtic knot. You can kind of do it randomly, you can kind of go, this is a strand going over, so this one's going under, and kind of follow a strand around. I like to do it linearly, so I like to do a row at a time. Going back to my kind of proper sketchbook page here, I'm going to take this top row here, and you can do either way, but I'm going to start doing my lines diagonally this way. I can't do anything here because I don't have any lines to join up, so the first one I can do is this one. So I can join these two lines and these two lines there. And then this one is in the same row, and again I've got 4 things I can join up. There we go. But then I can't do anything here because this one's got nothing to join onto and this one's got nothing to join onto. So the thing to do is to go to the next row. And I'm starting at the left. You can start at the right if it's easier, but I'm going to draw my lines diagonally the opposite way now. And I can join these two together because there's a line there, and I can join those two together. And I can follow along the row, filling in all of the lines that way. I'm just going to keep going and fill in the rest of the shape. So to finish it off, all I really need to do for this one is to draw a line around the outside that joins up all of these little V's. So I can leave a little gap where the V is, leave a gap there, and join this all up on the edge. To make this look neat and to cover up those little dots I put in, I can colour in the little centres, the little diamonds I put in. So there we go, that's one done. Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, it looks alright, but don't Celtic designs usually have nice curves? And they do. So I've done this one straight in pen, and I've done it kind of very kind of blocky and straight. But what I'd usually do is to do this first in pencil. So you should be able to see here I've got exactly the same grid as I've done here in pen, in pencil. But this time I'm going to go around the edges and just curve some of these lines nicely. So I can do the corners and just like a little soft curve on that line will make a big difference. Similarly in the corners here I want to make a little semicircle or a little arch rather than the kind of the square shape. And then on the sides as well I'll bring this out as a little curve and draw a little arc on this kind of internal bit. So now I can go in with pen and just make sure my lines are nice and soft and curvy. In the centre they'll still be straight and you'll get that kind of basket weave effect, but on the edges I'll just be a little bit softer and try and do these in one nice long continuous line. So there we go, this is exactly the same knot, but this one has a lot more personality to it. So you can also leave gaps in your Celtic knots. So I'm going to start with making a frame that's 6 across and 4 down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 4 down. And then I want to leave a gap in the middle. So instead of doing whole diamonds, I can do exactly the same as I did on the outside by putting in partial ones. So I can just do some little up arrows here. And then this one on the corner will have 3 sides. And the same on here. And then these have got little down arrows. And then same kind of 3 sides on here. So my pattern's going to be in this bit. So this bit's the out pattern. So my little arrows are pointing away from that section. You can make these whatever size you like. And then I'm going to put in the in-between diamonds. And the ones around the outside as well. So now I fill in the lattice work in exactly the same way. I can join these 2 together, but I can't do this one on the end because there's nothing to join it to. And I can work along the rows like this. This row here, I can't do this one here. I can do that one, and then I can't do this one because there's nothing to join it to down here. Same here, but I can do this one. So there we go. And then the next row, I can do that one, but I can't do this one because there's nothing to join that line to there. So the next one I can do is this one. And then the next row, I can only do that one and that one. But then the next row below that, I think I can do lots of them. So now I can go over my pencil in pen. So I want to kind of get these curvy lines, but I'm just going to draw them in freehand. I'm not going to pencil them in first. So here I've doubled the amount of lines in the grid, so I've like halved the size of it. So these knots were made with a grid that's 1 centimetre across. This is 0.5 centimetre. And I'm going to do the same thing again. So I've marked out a little grid that's 4 across and 6 down. And I just wanted to show you that you can, as well as leaving spaces, you can also kind of put in dividing lines. So let's put in a dividing line here. So these can be anywhere as long as they're horizontal or vertical. And let's put in one here as well. So as I'm going through during my lettuce work, all I want to do is to treat these as if they're the same as the edge. So let's put in my extra diamonds in the centre of the grid. You always want this kind of polka dot pattern. So I'll go in with the pen and draw the design with the pen on top of this grid so you can see a little bit better what I'm doing. And again, I'm going to start at the top row and I'm going to join those 2 together, those 2 together, these 2 and these 2, these 2 and these 2. Second row, I can join those 2 together and that one and that one and this one. Third row, can't do this one on the end. I can do this one here. And then I would normally be able to put a dividing line in here, but I can't today, so I'm just going to leave that for now and I'll come back to it later. I can do that one. And then I can carry on with the rest. just like I did up here, I can go around the edges and make them a little bit curved. And now I've got to this bit here, and what I want to do is create a little curve around there, and around there, and around this bottom one as well. So instead of the strand going straight across, it's now kind of looping back on both sides. And again here, I've got this strand here, and it would normally go straight across, but instead it's going to loop round and go that way. So I can put in a little curve there, and a little curve there. And the same on the bottom. And you can make these little dividing lines vertical as well, yeah, as long as they're horizontal or vertical and they join 2 points together. They can't kind of cross in the centre there. So here is a little variation. I've done this on the 1/2 centimetre grid. It's 4 by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. And what I did with this one is I made the diamonds really big. So I made the diamonds much bigger so the strands are skinnier and there's more gaps between them. And I also put in a little H-shaped dividing line across there. So there are so many different variations of things that you can make. So I've done some 3 by 3 grids here with kind of break lines in different places just to see what the difference is, and you can see there's a real difference between some of the patterns that you get. And then on this page I've tried out some different kind of decorations. So these have got some extra lines and some shading, and then this has got like some extra lines on some of the ribbons to kind of highlight that woven pattern. So now I'm finished, I can erase my grid and all my construction lines and add in any extra decoration I fancy. So thanks very much for watching today. I really hope that you found this helpful. If you did, then please give it a thumbs up, and I'll be doing some more fine liner constructions of different shapes and patterns on this channel. So I hope that if you like that kind of thing that you'll subscribe. Thanks very much. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.